Okay, so we're looking at the independent novel study. This is what I told you about when we first came back from Christmas break. So instead of us all reading the same book this semester, you're each going to choose a book from this list, and you're going to spend several weeks becoming very familiar with this book. So you're going to be the expert on this book. These are all novels that have been featured several times on the AP Literature exam. What that means is that most college English professors are going to expect that you know something about these books. They may just throw the title out and expect that you've heard of it before. So, in order to help you achieve that, we are going to kind of collaboratively create a database of information about these books so that you will have some exposure to each of them. Um, each of the books is listed here. There's 24. There's the title, the author, and then a brief explanation. You can use this list to look those over. You can Google them further to get more familiar with what they're about. But I do want to make sure that you take the time to look at these books. I will have another assignment where you will give me your book choice. But do take the time to look at these to make sure that you're choosing something that you're interested in. There is a wide variety of topics and authors here. So there should be something for everybody. In order to make you more familiar with the book, we are going to work through a series of assignments. And we're going to do this for a while. So there's a list of the assignments here and a calendar with the due dates. So we're just going to run through those really quickly. Before we go through the assignments, there are two items that you're going to need in order to complete this study. You are going to need access to the book. You can use a physical copy of the book and an electronic copy of the book. You can buy it, you can borrow it, whatever you want to do to get access to that book. The only way you cannot access the book while at school is on your phone, and that is for obvious reasons. But you can use an e-reader. If you have an e-reader on your computer, you can use that, or you can use a physical copy of the book that you get from our library, the public library, or you can go buy one, whatever you want to do. I have both a physical copy of my book, but I also have it on my Kindle. So, whatever you're comfortable with, access your book that way. That's fine, just not on your phone. So you will need access to the book, reliable access to the book for these several weeks that we are working on this project. You will also need a 3-ring binder, at least an inch in width. That's where you're going to be turning in several of your assignments. So 2 items, you need access to the book, physical or electronic. You need a 3-ring binder, at least 1 inch. You will need those 2 things by next Tuesday, January the 25th, because that is when we are going to really jump into this assignment. So here's your list of assignments that you're going to be completing as we go through. One is a response journal. What you're going to do when you first get your book is you're going to separate your book into 10 sections. At the end of each of those 10 sections, you will write a response journal. A response journal is just you responding to what happened in that section of the book. If you're not sure what that even means, there are possible topics for you to write about on those response journals on the next page. So you can use that list. Absolutely. There's instructions here for what your response journal should look like, and I have also posted examples of my response journals that I've completed so far so that you can see what they need to look like. Those are going to be submitted on Google Classroom, so I will post an assignment on Classroom for you to turn those in there. The due dates that I will have for those, if you look at this calendar on the next page, I have those due every Friday. You can absolutely complete those early. So if you're a fast reader and you read the first 3 sections in the first week, you can turn in response journals 1, 2, and 3 throughout that week. So you could start reading it on Tuesday and turn in response journal 1 on Wednesday and response journal 2 on Thursday. And however fast you read, that's fine. But some of us will not read that fast, and that's okay. We're using the response journals to keep us accountable to make sure that we are reading the book. And any day on this calendar that doesn't have something listed on it is a day that we will be reading in class. So the whole class period will just be dedicated to you reading your book and or working on your response journals or other assignments. So you'll have plenty of in-class time to work on those. So 10 response journals at the end of each of 10 sections, and you will separate your book out into those 10 sections however you want to. So that's the very first thing that we will do. You're also going to create a vocabulary list. So remember, I gave you vocabulary words with Just Mercy. You're going to do the same thing as if you were a teacher teaching this book. So this is a list of words that are unfamiliar, might be unfamiliar, words that are kind of complex, or words that you think the reader needs to know in order to understand the book. So it may just be a story specific thing, but you're going to build a list of at least 30 words. So that's the minimum. For each word, you're going to include a few different things: the word, the page number the word was found on, the sentence from the book that the word is used in. So if you remember on the Just Mercy vocabulary assignments, I gave you the sentence from the book with the word in it. You're going to put that on the list, and the dictionary definition. When you have finished the book and you have completed this whole list and you have those things for each of the words, you're going to print that list out and you're going to put it in your book binder, and that's how you will turn it in. You will turn in a physical copy in your book binder. Also, like a teacher, you are going to create a test of this book. So we're looking for a multiple choice and short answer test, at least 20 multiple choice questions, but no more than 30 multiple choice questions, and at least 2, but no more than 3 short answer questions. We want challenging questions that really assess reading comprehension and analysis skills. I'll let you in on a secret. When I make a test for a book, I do not come up with all the questions myself. I use online resources. Quizlet is great. SparkNotes is great. There are other places that you might find questions. So you may come up with some on your own. I hope you do. But you can also borrow them from other places. So that's fine as well. When you finish the book and you have created the test and the answer key, you will print that out and you will put it in your binder, and that is how you will turn it in. A physical copy of the test and the answer key that you will print and put in your book binder. The book talk is how we are going to share information with each other. So this is what's going to help us become familiar with the other books on the list that we didn't get to read. So each person's going to create a book talk explaining what their book is about, if it's, how they felt about it, if they liked it. There are specific questions on the assignment. This is going to be created and posted on Flipgrid. There are questions on the Flipgrid assignment that will help you create the book talk, and make sure that you're really kind of delving in and giving us a lot of information. I will provide a link to the book talk assignment on Google Classroom, but you will not complete this until you finish the book. But it will be submitted on Flipgrid. So that's one of the last things that you will do. You are also going to work on a literary analysis essay, kind of like what we did for Just Mercy. So for Just Mercy, we focused on theme. For this one, you can focus on any literary elements. I've included a list of possible topics. It's a 2-page list. You can look over that. But really what we're looking at is author's choice. So the stuff that we've been doing with rhetorical analysis. Why did the author make this choice? What impact does it have on the reader? Those are the kinds of things we're analyzing. But I'm looking for 3 full pages, double spaced. There's information here about what your heading should look like. You will have my example once I finish my book. But you will be working on that, and you will also print this out and put it in your book binder. So that means when you turn in your binder when you have finished the book, it should have your literary analysis essay, your test and answer key, and your vocabulary list in it. Lastly, you're going to create a creative project that reflects the book in some way. And this, I have no idea what this is going to look like, because it's whatever your skill set is, however you want to express your creativity. So that could be drawing, painting, sculpting, welding, carpentry, music, videos, food, something that's not on that list. Like, it could be a lot of things. There are just 2 requirements here. So first is that there should be some physical item that can be displayed. So if you are going to create, let's say you create a soundtrack for the book, like for a movie, you should create some physical thing that shows the playlist. Could be a poster or whatever. If you make a video, same thing. There needs to be something physical. It could just be the QR code that gets you there, but there should be something physical that you can display in class. And then the second requirement is that it should reflect the book pretty obviously. So when I look at your physical item, I should be able to look at it and know which book you're talking about, because the title's on it, because the author's on it, but also because, yes, that definitely exemplifies The Great Gatsby. So it should reflect the book in some way, whether that's the plot, the characters, the tone, mood, the theme, the symbols, one of those things or more of those things, that's fine. But you will bring that to class to display. And you also have the rubric here that I'm going to use to grade it. So those are my expectations for the creative project. 10 seconds left. That is it. That's the whole project. So if you have more questions later, absolutely let me know those and I'll get them answered.